First order of business would be to approve the agenda. Motion would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Sorry, I stepped away for a second. This is Ryan.
That's all right. Is there a second?
I'll second. It's Amanda.
Thank you. Any additions or deletions? If not, all those in favor, say aye or wave your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. General public comment. We have a couple from the general public. Does anyone wish to speak?
I'll just say that I know it's on the way, but we're going to thank you for our little treat that's coming, and we appreciate you thinking of us. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Approval of the minutes. Motion would be in order for the minutes of April 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. This is Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Is there a second?
I'll second. It's Amanda.
All right. Seconded by Amanda. Any changes to the minutes? Not seeing or hearing any. All those in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Unanimous. Thank you. Warrants. Yeah, you should have all the warrants and the information that was sent out. I'll go ahead and move the approval of warrants 160, 162, and 164. Is there a second to that?
I'll second. This is Ryan.
All right. All those in favor of approving the warrants, say aye. Or say
Aye.
no.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here on Chris's behalf this evening. He sent his superintendent's report in advance, so you should have received that by email. Just a few updates to that information. SBAC testing, I know a lot of our families who are remote have been wondering if they need to participate in SBAC. And in fact, the state is asking us to make that happen. And so we are reaching out, all schools are reaching out to families who are remote and trying to find situations or circumstances under which they feel comfortable having their student participate in SBAC this year. The state has applied for a waiver around participation, but we don't know yet if we will get it. So it could be a situation where schools will be held accountable for a high percentage of participation. We just hope our families are going to work with us, and we're going to try and follow every protocol, precaution, anything that we can do to accommodate a family and help them feel safe. If there is a medical exemption reason for a student not to participate, then the principal can also complete that form. We just need the family to work with us to make that happen. So just very unique situation this year with remote learning. SBAC cannot be administered remotely, so we have to have students on site in the building to participate in testing. Chris also gave an AOE recovery plan update. We are working, there's a team with a task force with several subcommittees that have been working on our recovery plan as per the AOE template. We had submitted phase 1, which is the needs assessment component of that plan. And we actually were just notified that our needs assessment has been accepted and approved, so we can move forward with recovery planning. There are three major areas of work for the plan: academic recovery, engagement and truancy, and also social emotional learning and wellness. And so those are the three subcommittees that we have focused on work. Our needs assessment included looking at data across our schools and looking at what was happening in each of those areas as a result of the pandemic, and what some preliminary brainstorming ideas about things that we could do, strategies we can implement that will address those areas of concern, and what the data is telling us about what our students need at this point in time in a post-pandemic, or almost post-pandemic, we hope, world. So we're going to continue to work on that. We'll get some specific goals and strategies in place and action timelines. Each of the task forces are working on those, and then we have a weekly meeting with the overall task force that supports them, helps with problem solving or brainstorming, and we're working on a draft that we will have due to the Agency of Education on the 1st of June. So we're pushing through that process. And Chris also mentioned in his report the Vermont Forward Plan around changes to travel restrictions, business operations, and event gatherings. I know that Rick and Liz will talk much more about graduation and end-of-year activities in each of their buildings. But of course, we're going to be following the governor's guidance along with the Healthy Start and all of the Department of Health regulations around those events. And we appreciate everybody's cooperation and support in making end-of-year celebrations as joyful and safe as we can. And then I think the last two notes, just school meals. If you are not already aware of it, for all families, school meals will be available again throughout the summer for free for all students, and that's all children under the age of 18 throughout the summer months. And so we do hope that families will reach out to the schools to coordinate pickup, take advantage of that tremendous resource that's available to support folks who may have been impacted and particularly hard by everything going on in the past year. And our graduation and promotion ceremony dates are set. So Middletown Springs is scheduled for the 14th at 6 and Wells for the 15th at 6. And all of the other school graduations are also listed in Chris's report if you are interested in participating in any of them. Last day of school for students is June 15th. I believe it's half days in every building. And the last day for our teachers this year will be June 18th. And with that, if there's any questions on Chris's report, I will do my best to answer them.
No questions?
Everybody's being nice to me, Eric, right?
I guess. I had a question about the SBAC testing. Is there like a certain time that has to be completed by?
Yes, there's a range of dates that the state issues every year that the testing needs to be completed by, but then each school sets their own testing schedule, and that's based on staff availability and coverage and the needs of the students who are testing in their site. So schools have their ranges, but we have until we have until June for makeups. Anybody that we just can't get in, or we need to arrange a unique schedule with them. As a school, you want your kids to test honestly as close together as you can in timing, because if a student has an additional month of instruction beyond a student who tested early in the test window, then that could just impact a comparison of their results. So ideally you want them to test within the same range of a couple weeks.
Okay, that makes sense. For the step 2 and the recovery plan, is that something that after it's I guess drafted, the board will see?
Yes, we'll be sharing out as we get through this process and have some real concrete steps and actions in each of those areas. We'll be sharing that with boards. I haven't talked to Chris specifically about how we'll do that rollout in a way that is efficient, so GRCSU folks don't have to listen to everything twice, but we'll figure out a plan for that, and then we'll bring it forward to everybody. But you'll be hearing a lot about it. It'll be ongoing work. So not only what the initial plans are, but then our progress all year next year toward that work will be an ongoing piece of our reporting to the board.
Okay. All
And
right.
just to add to that, Eric, the input and help from the staff to pull this off. You know, it's made the job much lighter. Everybody working together on this. So I appreciate the committee that I'm on. Yeah, coming together and making this work. So
Yeah.
it's not easy work, but we're doing it.
I can't imagine.
No, it was not a very flexible time frame either. We were basically given like 3 months to complete all of the work. So a little less than 3 months actually. So yeah, very intense work. We appreciate the help of everyone. We have almost 60 people, I think, in total on the 3 sub task forces together. So it's a lot of input from a lot of different stakeholders in the development of the plan, and everybody's working really hard to make that fit into their busy schedules and busy days during the school year.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. Nobody has any questions. I guess principals report.
Les, I think you're first this time, so I'm gonna defer to you.
Sure. Thank you. So you all have received my report in the packet. If there's any questions about that, I'm happy to answer. But I wanted to just highlight some of the really great things that have been going on. You know, I have the opportunity to go into classrooms and see a lot of hands-on learning this time of year. Kids are just blossoming faster and faster every day. Getting to sit side by side with kids and listening to their rationale and their learning has been really rewarding for me, and just to see the different grade levels and what they're completing. We were able to have our first session with Up for Learning. That Middletown has had a couple of extra sessions. So it was nice to see the 4th and 5th graders yesterday participating in introductory lessons with that. And the 6th grade was able to actually sit and observe what was going on. So building those community circles, it was really fun to see. And we've got end of the year plans are rapidly evolving. And kids are growing today. The pre-K was really fun. I hope they made it through the entire building, but they had made musical instruments and were parading through the hallways, just celebrating, you know, the Cinco de Mayo was what they were celebrating today, but just to see how much growth that not everybody gets to see, being so, you know, isolated as cohorts this year. It was really great. Actually, it was a heartwarming thing to see. And they look like they're ready to move on, but we don't want them to yet too. So a lot of very positive things happening. Really looking forward to the spring and just how much more with the amount of time we have left, but how much more we're going to accomplish in the last few weeks of school. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. I don't have any questions. So. Rick?
Guess I'm next.
Yep.
Once again, my report is in the packet. I just want to share that the hard work from both communities, Wells and Middletown Springs, you know, I've crossed my fingers, we've got to this point without a COVID outbreak in the school. So I like to think, you know, it's the hard work of students, families, staff to not have those interruptions. And anyway, it's made it, you know, we've done well to get to this point in the school year. So I want to recognize that. Like Wells, we've done the Up for Learning, which is really based on developing those community skills of listening. And it's been very amazing to see 2 of our 6th graders step in and actually be the lead moderators. And it's been a shot in the arm, especially for these students who, just because of the things that we lost this year, and stepping up and taking a leadership role. It's a very exciting, and I look forward to next year to have this year's 4th and 5th graders be the ones that take the leadership role through the rest of the school. So I think it's a very exciting thing. Very pleased how Velocity and Girls on the Run, we've done 2 activities with Wells, and we have a 3rd one that we'll be doing, a almost all day trip up to Smuggler's Notch. Part of the activity is doing these great events. Middletown Springs is doing outdoor survival training on Friday. Wells is doing hiking tomorrow, but But what's been really good is also part of it is having these discussions, and so happy and pleased with the boys of having these really in-depth, respectful conversations. So, and I'm very pleased that we're two of, I think, 4 schools within the state that took advantage of the program this year. So I guess their loss is our gain, but very excited for our students and for the school. I just want to share, both schools are looking at a pretty extensive summer program. We've never done this before. We've actually extended it, and we're trying to do a 5-day a week, 5 weeks, 5 days a week, and a longer program. We surveyed the parents, and the need is out there. And also to help pre-K through the ESSA funds, we're going to be having Middletown Springs is having a half-day, 4-week, 5 days a week program. And I think, Liz, you're having a full day or a half day?
We're doing a half day for the duration of our program as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So very exciting. And also, Liz and I are meeting tomorrow about having an extended pre-K program, which would mean a change in licensing. And but there is I'll speak for Middletown Springs since we don't have daycare anymore. I think this will be a real value to the community, and it keeps those students within our school and our program. So with the child care support subsidy, I'm probably saying that wrong, that should be able to provide funding for the program. But Liz and I and Nancy McGill are meeting with the lady from the state tomorrow to work out the details. So once again, I think it's going to add value to the program and to the schools and in the communities. Yeah, there's a lot of little things going on, but I'm very proud of both schools and what we've been able to accomplish this year. So kudos to everybody. So it's a community. That's it.
Great, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Rick? All right. Finance. So we have the year-end budget forecast everyone should have received. I guess if you had any questions, you should direct them to Lewis along with monthly financials, I guess.
Yep, Eric, Lewis did say he'd be available by phone this evening. So if there's anything that we need to follow up with him about, I can just reach out to him directly.
That was the next thing I was going to say. I'm sure you could chime in if anybody had any questions. It looks like so far we'll have a surplus this year, but that can change. So
yeah, I was wondering because he made a comment about the special ed whiplash and what kind of percentage do we think of that 145 is going to get used?
based off what he said last year, it's going to get worse than what it was last year.
So what, like 80,000?
Yeah, I would think probably around 80, maybe a little bit more.
Wow.
Yep.
So yeah.
But I believe that a lot of it is COVID related.
COVID. Yeah,
You
there's
know,
definitely an impact on schedules from COVID, and we've got staggered start times and dismissal times to get
Yeah.
kids in and out of the building differently. Different programming going on. We've had remote Wednesday afternoons where students are not receiving services in the afternoons. So a variety of factors that are going to have a kind of short-term COVID-related impact on those
So
numbers.
why aren't they covered by ESSER funds or other COVID relief funds?
Yeah, it's they're considered our staff, so we're not providing a separate COVID-related service with them that we would be funding through COVID relief funds. We're just covering salaries and full-time salaries.
But it's additional costs.
It's not, well, it's not, it is and it's not. It's, the salaries are in our budget. It's just that we don't qualify for the same level of special ed reimbursement for a percentage of those salaries based on time studies. So there is an additional cost, but there's not additional work being done, I guess is the way I'd like to say that.
It's my understanding of it is there's a lot more to it, and the time studies are kind of where a lot of this is based off of, and
Yeah.
that was kind of that's why I brought it up last year. Was every year it gets more and more, but
Yeah,
then
but
it's
because of COVID, it's different this year. That's what I'm saying. It's, it's not, there should be, if there are relief funds, they should be pointed at some of this. It shouldn't be that much worse than last year.
yeah, I agree. If COVID is changing the way things are run, then my thought would be it should be covered by these funds as well. But
Yeah, that's, it's not how funds have been accessed, and I don't know honestly if that's an allowable expense under the current grant formula for the CRF or the CARES Act. There are, for private businesses, there are lots and lots of like payroll relief funds and other actions that you can take, but it's a little bit different for public entities. So I'm sure Lewis could speak more eloquently to this to you, and I'm sure he will next month as you get closer to the year end, and he can make more relevant projections for you at that time.
yeah, if you wanted to talk to him tonight, he would call in, wouldn't he?
I'm sure he would join us if we asked him to. Would you like me to do that?
Meredith, is that something you would like?
It's probably not going to make any difference. It's a disappointing, I guess, fact. That's all.
Okay.
I'll ask him to make sure that he can speak to it the next time that he joins you.
All right. Moving on. Personnel. Resignations. We have one resignation. Timothy Davies. A motion would be in order to accept his resignation.
I'll
It's
make that
Amanda.
motion.
Oh, go ahead, Meredith.
Motion by Meredith, seconded by Amanda.
Sure.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wave or something. Motion passes. Support staff, non-union contracts. I think for this and the position change request and leave an absence might be better suited for executive session. So I think if the board's in agreement, we can save those for executive session because I have questions. I don't know about anybody else.
I agree.
Okay. Old business, nothing. End of year graduation. I'm assuming that
We're having a celebration, and the plan is to have it outside. I guess there is an offer to attend, but I am really hoping that we can do it outside and have prizes for the kids and use the bank beyond on the west end of the school for a natural amphitheater, and people bring chairs, and so that's my hope for the sixth grade celebration.
For Wells, what we are looking at doing is outside as well. Where it has traditionally taken place, we are looking at, since we don't have the natural amphitheater, we are looking at an equitable solution to have as many people that we can fit with respect to COVID there to support individual families for students who are graduating, but then being able to have community members come. So we're working out kind of the fine details. Scott, our facilities director, Mackenzie and Jackie and I have been in conversation about, you know, how many kids, or we have 10 students graduating, you know, number of families trying to make it all work. At the same time, we're also hoping to do a parade in town, so logistics are going to need to be discussed as well. It's really exciting actually to be able to have this conversation with a lot of folks. So things will be rapidly evolving, but we've got some logistics kind of down for what we're hoping to do. So hoping to get the invitations out to folks and families with more fine details once we get them squared away in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. So if the the COVID guidance changes over the next month or so, will that change how the graduations are being held as well?
They're going to be outside. They'll be outside, I think, no matter what. But as of June 1st, the guidance changes a little bit more. So we're going with that current plan of what the June 1st guidance looks like as far as number of people that can be outside. You know, we have the expectation of the masks, like we spoke about at our last meeting, and all of those pieces are being pushed in as well. So,
Okay, I guess for both schools, will this graduation look like the traditional graduations that the schools have had in the past, or is, you know, as far as I'm just trying to picture, you know, how it's going to look, and not like it matters. I'm just wondering if it's, you know, last year it was like a drive-through graduation.
so speaking specifically to Wells, we're hoping to do it right in front of the gazebo, like we have in recent years. The one I attended, I know was there. You know, staff. We're hoping that staff can be off to the side and socially distanced as well. We'd like to be able to have immediate families on the green, you know, sectioned off, so that we can have the public also viewing if need be and wanting to join us. We're planning on broadcasting it over Facebook, asking Shannon Moriarty to help us out with some type of communications for folks that can't attend in person, but it's looking to be more traditional, and I say that without having experienced it. But I think to answer your question, it's looking to be more of that traditional feel for what it's been.
I see it pretty much what we've had in the past. Students up on the risers, you know, giving their farewell speeches and you know, a traditional march in. So just with a lot of social distancing.
Okay.
Same. That's perfect. Mm-hmm.
But it could change, you know.
Sounds like fun. All right. Does anybody else have any questions about graduation? Nope. All right. The board retreat. George.
Yes, I did a survey, sent out a request listing the Wednesdays in June and July, and I have not gotten responses from everyone I sent the invitation to, but so far the date that sticks out as the most agreeable is July 21st.
Okay. I think. Well, I'm looking at my calendar at the same time. All right. Yeah. That's the date I put down as well. I think we could probably, you know, put that down tentatively, and then just confirm with the other board members who may have not responded. And you know, at least put it on the calendar for now if everyone agrees with that.
Yeah, this is Amanda. That could work for me. And I'm sorry, George, you probably sent that to the GRCSU email, and I just don't have access to that. So I'm sorry, I didn't see the survey, but the 21st would work for me.
Okay. I if there are people out there that did not get an invitation to participate in the survey, please let me know and I'll resend that invitation.
George, this is Ryan. I did get the survey. I just haven't, things are really up in the air for us right now for as far as summer goes. So I just wasn't really able to commit to much, but I'll definitely put July 21st down and I'll see what I can do to make that happen, if that works for everybody else.
Sounds good to me.
Eric, I'll let you know if I do hear from others and if there's any big change. But again, the 21st so far seems to be the best date for the majority.
Okay, great. Thank you, George. Okay. All right. Policy. So the policy committee met last week for the first time, and we went through a few policies, and there's one we have tonight just for the first read. There will be more coming. I can assure you. So if you have any questions or suggestions about this one tonight, and this policy is just one that hasn't had any changes to the VSBA or anything. So we just went through it and all of it looks good. So, and this will go back to committee and then we'll see it again next month. So no questions? All right. So now we need a motion to move into executive session for personnel. If we can invite the assistant superintendent and principals, of course.
I'll make that motion. It's Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Is there a second?
I'll
I'll second that.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, George.
I'll second that.
All right. We'll move into executive session at 6:44. All those in favor? Say aye. Or raise your
Aye.
hand.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, so we're out of executive session at 7:01 by consensus. So a motion would be in order for support staff contract, I should say.
I'll make a motion to approve the support staff contract. This is Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Motion by Ryan. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Rhonda? Any discussion on this? Probably not. We just all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Non-union, non-admin support staff contracts. A motion would be in order. I would say I'll make a motion to approve the budgeted increase for Shauna Chamberlain and Mackenzie Gates. I think I said that right.
I'll second that. It's Amanda.
We didn't. Thank you, Amanda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Position change request.
Eric, sorry. I think you also are going to need a motion for the second two on that list. You need to approve their contracts.
Thank you. Does somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the contracts. This is Ryan, if I could talk.
Thank you, Ryan. Is there a second? I'll second that.
I'll second. Okay, go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Just to
Thank
be
you.
clear, that's for facilities director and treasurer.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, George. Motion passes unanimously. And now we need a motion for the position change request.
I'll make a motion to approve the position change request for Natalie Hood.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, George. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is Meredith still with us? Or?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry, all right, motion passes. And leave of absence. Looking at it here.
I'll make a motion to approve the leave of absence for. Sorry, I'm on the call, so when I scroll back, it goes away. Is it
Erica Lerner.
Erica Lerner?
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second. It's Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, if there's no any other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meredith, is that an aye?
Yep. Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, motion passes. And all right, future meeting dates, June 2nd. If anybody else has anything else for the board, motion would be in order to adjourn.
Lisa, before we leave, could you just ask Chris? I know we had talked last month about him bringing us some information in regards to like our students' performance, and I was hoping he had it at this month's meeting. Could you just maybe pop a note to him that maybe we could have it for June?
Yep, I'll follow up with him on that request.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if nobody wants to hang out here for the rest of the night,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn at 7:08 by Ryan. Is there a second?
Anybody?
I'll second. It's Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. All right. I'll take that. All those in favor say aye or sign off.